Teams are about to come out. Let's go, ladies and gents, boys and girls, and welcome to the Raiders, the Barrow ladies.
Welcome to the Northern Competition Stadium, the Women's Super League game versus Barrow Raiders and Leigh Leopards. This is myself, Steve Neal, and I've got Jodie Litherland, the former Barrow captain, alongside me. Teams are coming out for a 2 p.m. kickoff. We'll just go through the teams and then we're ready to go. So Barrow Raiders are lining up at fullback through Chloe Capstick, wings Shannon Parker and Hannah Thompson, centres Emily Sturziker, Claire Hutchinson, halfbacks Kerry Ann Smith, Beth Pattinson, props Leah Clough, Jodie Morley, hooker Beth Lindsay, second rows Maddie Neal, Vanessa Temple and Nicole Stewart, with the substitutes today Leah Cottier, Jodie Crawford, Frances Harley and Lucy Dickinson. The Leigh Leopards team line up at Hattie Douglas at fullback, Torrin Blackwood and Rebecca Greenfield on the wings, centres Mackenzie Taylor and Rihanna Burke, halfbacks Amy Taylor and Leah Morris, props Eleanor Dainty, Lucy Johnson, Kate Howard at hooker, second rows Charlotte Melvin and Storm Cobain and Abby Latchford at loose forward. Substitutes today Claire Mullaney, Hannah Roberts, Alice Fisher and Kelly Morris. So it's Barrow Raiders who will be kicking off, playing from left to right, and a really big game, Jodie, yeah?
Yeah, big one. I think both teams will still be seeking that fifth spot. Disappointing result for Barrow, first game of the season away at Leigh, so some making up to do this afternoon.
And that's a really good start. Well, in one respect they've retained the ball and Chloe Capstick's done well, but a bit of a collision there. And Claire Hutchinson has gone down.
Great start for me because I missed that.
Maybe she's got a bang in the ribs, I think. But yeah, and it looks as though she's been taken out off the ball, so a penalty awarded. And Barrow are on the attack straight away. This is Maddie Neal taking it forward.
I think Barrow will be looking at a replication of the Saints at home and the Warrington at home game. Two really good starts, so let's see if we can mirror that again today.
Yeah, and Hutchinson looks as though she's feeling no ill effects as she takes the ball towards the 10-metre line. And Barrow are in a great position very early in the game. Smith taking the line on from first receiver. She had support outside, but testing the Leigh defence. And we're only yards from the try line.
Can we see the Stewart and Morley combination in the first 5
and
minutes?
here's Stewart. And on inside ball to Temple. And as you say, Jodie, it's normally Stewart and Morley who combine, but Temple's done well there. And Stewart.
Go on then.
Stewart's managed to wriggle on the tackle. Fantastic start for Barrow Raiders. Nicole Stewart adds to a try tally for the season. And the perfect start, 4-0 Barrow Raiders.
Stewart.
First try scorer, going over from 1 metre. The fabulous Nicole Stewart.
I think her and Morley are fighting it out for top try scorer in that middle at the moment.
Yeah, I think Nicole's edging it. I don't know the exact numbers, but she's certainly been prolific in the games that we've seen her. Even against the top team, she's managed to get over the whitewash. And I think she got 2 at Leigh, didn't she, the opening day as well? So.
Yeah, our only points at Leigh away in that first game came from Nicole's, whether it was a try or a boot, and soon to be a Scotland international, so she's having a great year.
Yeah, she's been really the star of the team, to be honest. Having come from work at mid-season last year, she's had a full pre-season with us and showing the benefits of that.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out for her at York away last week, so I think she's got a bit of making up for that to do as well, personally.
She lines up this kick. And that's successful. So, perfect start for Barrow Raiders. Barrow Raiders 6, Leigh Leopards 0. And Amanda Wilkinson will be absolutely delighted with that, won't she?
Yeah, I think we'll have worked hard all week on that attack close to the line and just being composed and being able to finish chances, so we can't ask for anything more than that. Obviously everyone does want to see them kind of ball through and shipping it, diving tries in the corner, but why move away from something that's been so successful for Barrow so far, and that is anything that comes through that middle through Stewart. She's dangerous, so yeah, don't need to move away from it.
Sometimes you just got to play to your strengths, haven't you? And if you've got a strong forward pack that takes some stopping close out, well, why change it?
See if Leigh goes short with their kick-off.
So, Leigh, look at the restart. Charlotte Melvin kicks deep, and Maddie Neal's not taking that on the full. Probably came a little bit too close to the ball, and that's the perfect response, really, from Leigh Leopards. It's going to be a dropout, and Barrow Raiders will be looking to defend the line, defend that mistake, and retain the lead that they've currently got.
Yeah, what I nearly said when Leigh were kicking off then is Barrow must complete this next set, but I thought keep your mouth shut because that's when sometimes things can go wrong, but you know.
You should have passed the message down there. So, shortish dropout there from Stewart. Oh, and another error from the Leigh Leopards. So, bit of an error-thon of that little passage of place. First, Barrow failed to collect on the full, and then Leigh have put the ball down. And that's a reprieve, really, for Barrow Raiders, and they'll take the scrum on the 10-metre line, 20-metre line, 10 in from touch.
Yeah, I was interested today to see who would be playing in the house for Leigh. So they've got 6 with the shirt on who seems to have been put out into the centre. 7's kept her place, and then they've got the Amy Taylor who's just made that error on loan from Saint, so she's obviously slotted in. And then I did notice that they'd got Emma Knowles back over to Leigh from Warrington as well, so maybe she's injured, not too sure what the thoughts are behind that one.
Yeah. Obviously, Leigh's got the coach. I think Kieran Patel's still there. He's got some decisions to make on his halfbacks, and the loanee from Saints has obviously taken precedent over Rihanna Burke, who now finds herself in the centre.
Yeah, and potentially, like I said, Emma Knowles, potentially she's been left out or injured. I'm not sure, but must be nice having a lot of options, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. But that was Emily Sturziker who found contact. Looking at the Barrow team sheet today, it's not far away from full strength, really. Obviously, Charlotte Todd was missing long term, but we're not far away today, so we'd be pretty pleased after it looked like Ward 7 at York last week. They've managed to put as strong a team out as they have done.
Yeah, so Beth Pat's back in fresh. She missed the trip to York last week, so that's a bonus for Barrow. Imogen, unfortunately, one of the 19s who's been playing regularly, she's sustained an injury to her shin, so she's going to be out for a little bit of time. But yeah, a couple of injuries just allow that opportunity to give other people a run out. So we've got Hannah Thompson making her home debut. First start for Barrow today out on this wing. She came on for 10 minutes against York away. So yeah, wherever there's an injury or somebody maybe not performing, there's always an opportunity for someone else to come through.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is Leah Morris. Nice ball out the back. Finding the fullback, Hattie Douglas, and Leigh moving the ball nicely. Got some good shape. Probing. I think the scrum half there looked up, saw some gaps, and this girl did a lot of damage. Rebecca Greenfield did some damage at Leigh in the earlier game, and they found the Barrow weaknesses on the fringes, and they'll look to go to them again. And that's a lovely take, actually, from Beth Patterson. Crossfield kick.
Yeah, and that was
Leah
really
Morris.
nice to see with us dealing with that edge play down there, because that's been one of our weaknesses in times, especially underneath us down here on this pitch. We've seen them break the line and then somebody at fullback not be able to stop them, so that's great work down here, and then great take from Beth Pat.
Yeah. I think in this game we've just got to stay error-free. When we make errors, we tend to concede, and if we stay squeaky clean, then there's a fair chance that we're going to be competitive. This is Kerry-Ann Smith finding Hutchinson. Walks ahead through the hole. Made a couple of more extra metres on contact. And Temple now probing. Off again to Smith. Good strong lead defence there. Those yards are limited, but retaining possession, and this is the last. And Lindsay will look to put in the kick, which she does. And Douglas picks that up wisely and starts the counter attack. So yeah, and she's evaded a couple, but before the ever reliable Jodie Morley scrags her to the ground, and Torrin Blackwood now.
They look like they've got quite a lot of pace out the back, don't they?
Yeah, they do look as though they're pacey. I think Barrow need to make sure they number up, don't miss any first up tackles, and hopefully that'll keep them in the game. As Charlotte Melvin there makes some more yards forward. Leigh, moved the ball nicely, but that's an error.
Never ever going to happen, that.
And inside ball knocked on. No advantage for the Barrow team, so they'll move 3 or 4 yards forward where the offence was committed, and it'll be their head and feed, I think, which they're going to take on the 20-metre line, just short of the half. 20 metres in, I should say, just short of the halfway line.
Yeah, and I think we spoke a few times the last few times we've played at home about that scoreboard pressure. So if Barry can get the noses in front here, it's a tough place for teams to come, and errors creep in because they try things that maybe isn't used to their process. And I think that's where Leigh was so strong at home, is just everything went well from the first minute, and they were just able to get a roll on, and we were able to kind of stay in the fight. But hopefully tides have turned in this game, and we can kind of have that dominance from now on.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of emotion that first game. Leigh getting back into Super League, and it was probably the perfect tie really to play someone like Barrow Raiders, who had a lot of players who had left them during the close season, and they hit Barrow hard in the opening minutes. But today, obviously a little bit different. Barrow have come out the traps really well. There's that combination again between Stewart and Morley gets herself over the 20-metre line, and Barrow looking dangerous again.
Yeah,
out the back,
new combinations and the new players that have come in, they're just growing into the season, and kind of a long way away from where they were in that first game of the season, and it's lovely to see.
Yeah. And Morley calls for the ball. She fancies it 3 or 4 yards out.
See if you can get an offload, Moz.
Yeah, and she does. It's gone back to Neil. Well, it's knock on there, I think, and it's going to be a turnover on the 10. Morley tried to offload. Neil couldn't get it, and it's Leigh who are going to come away with possession now.
I hope you're not saving up these Maddie errors to give her too much of a hard time later on tonight.
No, she's done a couple of nice hit-ups, but I'm ever critical father of my daughter who's playing in the second row for Barrow. I think she's actually a prop, but she's named in the second row, but she's playing prop today with number 3 on her back.
Yeah, and that's another example, isn't it, of kind of start of the season, people leaving and new players getting shirts, and then not playing anywhere near in the same position. So we had Kelly Friend with number 8 on her shirt from last season, playing on the wing at some points this season. Yeah. Unfortunately out with an elbow injury at the moment. But yeah, the team is just starting to settle down and find those positions and find those combinations, and hopefully be successful from it.
Leigh probing past the halfway line. It's they've come away all the way from the 10-metre line, so they are making metres as they go downfield. It's a nice bit of contact from Smith there, joined by Neil in the tackle. So it's on the last now, and that's going to skip away. It's going to be a 7 tackle set on the 20 there for Barrow.
Today, Kappa.
Not really what the Leigh side would have been asking for there from Leah Morris. A little bit too much strength on the kick, and Barrow now have the opportunity. Key thing for Barrow at the moment, alright, they've made a couple of last tackle errors, and they made that error from the kick-off, but they haven't been too many so far, and as I said before, it's probably errors that they need to cut out to if they're going to win this game. And Temple eyes up the defence and make some good metres.
Yeah, we just need a complete here coming out of our own end.
So, Hutchinson down the short side. Goes through the first tackle before Rebecca Greenfield and Leah Morris again get hold of her. But again, another few metres forward. Smith out the back to Stewart. Stewart finds Morley.
Yeah, I think we just needed to move it again then out.
Yeah, maybe one more, and the Leigh defence were compact in the middle, but on the fringes, not so sure. So it's Pattinson. That was high. The crowd may have won that penalty, but I guess what they saw was Chloe Capstick taking a high shot, and that's a penalty for Barrow, which can get them over the halfway line into some sort of attacking position.
And their coach kills them on 4th tackle, so Leigh will be real disappointed with that one. Don't mind so much giving them away on 1st or 2nd, but when you're on 4th and you're nearly at the end of your defensive duties, then they'll be really annoyed with that.
Yeah, I think the Leigh coach will be a tad disappointed with the opening start. There's been a few errors, and obviously now there's a penalty, and behind on the scoreboard, it's probably not what he was thinking was in the script for him. But there's a lot of talent on this Leigh side. Time will tell whether or not they can cut those errors out and come back into the game. So this is Clough. She's been a bit quiet in the opening few minutes, 14 minutes on the clock, but she's always a threat when she has ball in hand. And Stewart again looking, and that's Neil. Nice combination there. And again, Barrow in a grip, attacking position.
It was
Smith.
on left.
Yeah, it was on there. Although Temple's made something of nothing, and Stewart. And away with pass from Nicole Stewart there. She obviously spotted some gaps in the Leigh defence, but the skill level wasn't there. And
I think that comes out of frustration. She'd spotted it before the play. The ball jumped out the left-hand side of the ruck, and then they went right. So
yeah,
ball comes back to her, and then I think that's just come out of a little bit of frustration. Probably should have gone left off the ruck.
Yeah, so Leigh will get possession. Barrow were looking dangerous there, and they probably went away from the scripts of playing the forwards-based game that they've been successful with. And Lucy Johnson there, met by a wall of defenders and lost it in the tackle.
Knock on.
Probably went backwards, but referees these days don't tend to reward losses in the tackle, whatever direction they come in. Leigh are having a bit of a complaint, probably justified to be fair. But it may have hit a Barrow player. Either way, it's a scrum to Barrow, and again, Leigh will be disappointed with the error count, really. And to Barrow's credit there, as I said, there was a wall of defence. Numbers in the tackle, and certainly Lucy Johnson wasn't going anywhere.
Referee not happy with something in the scrum.
I don't know if they've got their heads in the right place, but I always say penalise them, don't coach them if I'm a referee. And Stewart
Another
again.
destructive run.
She's a real handful, and I don't know if Leigh have done the homework on Nicole Stewart, but again a high shot, and that was high.
Take 2 here.
Hattie Dogus. 2 would be good, I think. Stretch the lead beyond the score. But Nicole doesn't seem to be interested though, the regular goal kicker. She's on her way out. So they're going to tap it. They're not even going to get a few extra metres by finding touch.
I would have took 2 there.
2 was an option, and certainly another 10 metres downfield. Anyway, Smith takes the line on. She's been growing at this role, Carrie Ann Smith.
She's just a rugby player, Kez.
Yeah,
so you could put her anywhere on the pitch, and I think she's getting to a point where she's potentially nearly played in every position for the club.
And these are great hands here. And Shannon Parker, you could tell from the outset that it was a loose carry, and she got a big hit by the Leigh defence, and she's hurt herself. But she never really had confidence in holding that ball, I didn't think, and she was begging to be smashed, to be honest.
It does not sound good, this, either. No. I think I can hear her screaming from here.
Yeah, so the referee's called time off. Obviously, the doctor's now made his way onto the pitch, which is never a good sign. The Barrow physio has called the doctor over, and this will certainly disrupt things if they were to lose Shannon Parker, who's another of these players who are growing into a role. She's a bit of an athlete, and she's got a lot of potential and pace on that wing.
Yeah, and I think when Shannon gets some consistent games in under her belt, and she'll be a great player for the club in the future.
Yeah, she's only young though. I don't know exact age, but she's about 20, 21 years of age.
Yeah, one of the younger ones.
So, whole career really ahead of her, and having broken at the Super League team proper this year, she's improving with every game and getting that little bit of confidence. But she won't want to be injured.
Yeah, we spoke a bit, haven't we, on the radio or the TV in weeks gone by, that they have just been thrown in at the deep end this year, and sometimes that's where you learn the quickest, and people just rise up to it. And I think Shannon has done that this season. Yeah,
one or two will sink, but thankfully for Barrow, most of them are starting to swim a bit, aren't they? And when they're thrown in the deep end, and it's a great way to find out. It's not reserve rugby, it's not community rugby. It's Super League. It's full on, and you're playing internationals every other week. But thankfully she's to her feet.
Yeah, and I think the nature of rugby, when people do pick up knocks and injuries and things, it does give opportunity where maybe in other sports that opportunity wouldn't come around so easily. So we've had a few of the 19s coming through and making their debuts this year, which is great. And we've just finished a really strong block of the P2P and a couple of camps for the first time this year down here as well. And I came down for a couple of hours on Thursday to the most recent camp. And the talent that is around and available for in the next couple of years is exciting. So if we can just sustain what we've got at the moment through this bit of transition period, then the future definitely looks bright for the club.
Yeah, in some ways, the fact that Warrington are in the league and they've allowed us this grace year really to, we didn't really want to be fighting a relegation battle, and obviously done the double over them, and they're not going to survive. So it's allowed us to sort of play without any great pressure of relegation, which is great for the development of the game.
Yeah, and it has, but I think that also as well, they've got the ability, this team now, to match what we did last year, and it was spoke about so highly throughout the game of what we managed to achieve by finishing fifth. And if I was one of these young players with this jersey on now, I won't want to be constantly talking about what's previously happened, but beat Leigh today, go away and beat Huddersfield on the last game of the season, and potentially fifth still there for the taking. So instead of them talking about kind of what Barrow did last year and finished fifth, the next to the best out of the top four, they can do it again this year. So I'd be...
Yeah, absolutely. And so Leigh Cotter has come onto the field to replace Parker, and time's back on, and Leigh, there's a couple of holes there in the defence, but the slide did come across, and there does seem to be a few gaps on the edges, but at the moment Barrow is sliding quite well, and the defence is pretty strong in the middle, and Neil and Lindsay involved there. This is Lucy Johnson again met with good contact. Morley is ever reliable, providing most of that in that tackle. And so Leigh are coming away. Can they get to the end of the set? Because that's been a failing so far. They've ran well, they've had some good shape, but then spoilt it all with the odd error here and there. But they're coming away nicely here, and up to the halfway line. A decent set from Leigh. They'll get to the kick. And Amy Taylor hoists that in the air. Decent kick. Finds the surface in infield, and then into touch. So Barrow will have to come away just outside their 10-metre line, 15 metres out. So a decent set from Leigh, because they've come all the way from their own half.
Yeah, especially after there's been time off and an injury, because it can disrupt your flow a little bit. And I think good decision there from Leigh Cotter, who's our ever-present utility player, has now come onto the wing. So probably a good decision to let that bounce and go out, because it was quite far away from where she was stood.
If you're not confident at taking those balls, you're probably best to leave them. They've got a lot of momentum on them, probably either going to bounce into touch or even roll into the dead ball area. So you could have seen a drop if she'd have gone for it. So probably the right call. So Barrow coming away. Clough running strongly, and again a high shot from Leigh. Barrow bringing the ball away from their own half and now going to get some easy meters, and the referee is calling the Leigh players, Leigh captain over, And his patience is running out a little bit. There's been about 3 or 4 high shots from the Leigh team. Nothing really malicious, but it's technique. And I guess he may well have been saying the next one's going to the bin.
Yeah, and that's your reward from Leigh Clough running well in that middle and getting penalties for it. So we just got to keep running with that intent and keep letting Leigh make.
Yeah, a good touch finder there from Nicole Stewart.
I was getting a bit nervous on those ones. I wasn't sure if it was going to make it out first.
I think that the Leigh players on the touchline got a little bit excited. Again, Clough takes it up with a strong run, and Leigh haven't really had much of it in way of attacking position, but Barrow have, and Morley, another one who takes it forward. And Stewart looks as though she wants to pull the strings now, and she gets it to Smith, out the back to Capstick, and then Hutchinson. Nice little step by Hutchinson, and she's made a few extra meters because of that. And Barrow 10 out with still a few tackles in the bank. Smith to Stewart. Long ball, cut out Neil, and found Morley, but that's not the best offload in the world from Morley, and that's an error. I guess it's not the worst person in the world to turn it over, but even so, he probably had a time again. She didn't want to keep hold of that one.
Yeah, I think
that's just
an opportunity there for Morley just to hit the deck, get up, and we had a massive overlap on the left-hand side, so she'll be disappointed to do that. Yeah. But we always do say, don't we, stick with what works, and offloads generally work for her, but not on that occasion.
So the ball came out there. To me, the Leigh player looked as though it was a really loose carry and lost it. But the referee's given a penalty, and sometimes the 50-50 calls go for you, sometimes they don't. And this is probably the best starting position for a while. Charlotte Melvin there taking the ball up for Leigh, and this is danger time because they've got a really good shape here on the left, and the shorter numbers, and nice tackle from Temple because as I say, shorter numbers on this left hand edge as we go in the Leigh attacking side, and Dainty taking the ball forward there. So Leigh looking dangerous, 20 out. A nice little dummy. Amy Taylor again taking the line on. And Barrow look a little bit desperate. The shot on that right edge, only 2 against 3 here. If it goes through hands, they're in trouble. But they've numbered up, and I think they may well have got to the 5th. And they have, so one more tackle to defend. And they'll be relatively pleased with it. But again, Lucy Johnson. Oh, nice tackle there, indeed. Oh, she's got that off the ground, I thought. Just because the ball carrying arms up, if you've lost on momentum, you're tackled.
I'm not sure who made that chopping tackle. It must have been Leigh Clough, I think.
Leigh have made an error on the line in desperation to get the ball out on the last. And that's fair enough. You try and offload it when you're a yard out and the tackle count's finished. Yeah,
I think the ball carrying arm hit the ground, but Leigh Clough was nowhere to be seen. I think she just chopped whatever was coming at her, and then the tackle wasn't complete. So I think that one was fair play. That it's great to see Ness looking really hungry for this today.
Yeah, she gave a really good interview pre-game in the build-up to this, and she spoke well about how focused the team were, and her job as a vice captain is to provide some leadership, and I thought she spoke very well about what the team wanted to do today, and so far so good from a Barrow perspective. It's Morley now. It's always good to contact from Morley.
You can hear Nicole shouting in the background, run over her.
Yeah.
Your turn then.
And Smith. And Temple's give a death ball out to Hutchinson there. She did really, really well to cling on to that in the face of some strong Leigh defence, and she's probably hurt herself there in the tackle. Hutchinson, a bit of a desperate kick from Lindsay when we got to the last, but nice chase from Capstick and Neil. They've pinned the Leigh attacker straight away. She's got it. So
this is where Capstick's really growing into this role at fullback.
Yeah, and she's
this kick chase and then making 2 or 3 tackles from marker. I think she's been outstanding at that for the last couple of games. Just needs to make her way back into the line now.
Yeah.
In case they make a break.
So, Lucy Johnson for Leigh, certainly doing lots of work. Kate Howard, she's always dangerous from dummy half, and she's made some extra meters there. And Leigh is just starting to turn the tables here. They've got a 6 again there, repeat set for Barrow laying on a little bit too long, and the defence is going to be tested here. And this effectively is the first time. It's 6 again, and Leigh looking dangerous, and the Barrow defence probably need an error. They're very short. If Leigh go left, I'm predicting a try, but they don't. They go back in field. And Barrow are quite strong in the middle, you can see that, but on the left, oh, what a good shot that was. That's Leah Clough.
That's Leah Clough again.
You don't run at Leah Clough, I guess, but as I said, they've gone the wrong way again. And Beth Pat is intercepted, and wow.
Where's Larkin when you need her?
Yeah.
If I'm doing them on the try line, I'm giving it to
Larkin.
Larkin.
Sturzik now breaking up that touchdown from a centre position, so Leigh will be desperately disappointed there. If they'd have gone left on more than one occasion, they had numbers, I'm talking about 6-2, but they chose to go down the middle and then went right, and they've blown it really, and then an intercept, and that's an error from Neil, and she won't be happy with that one. Difficult pass to take, but nevertheless, you've got to take those balls, and another set to defend. So Lindsay is going off, and can't quite see who's coming on. Looks as though Hannah Thompson's gone into the pack. So what's going on here? Oh, is it? Can't quite see the rearrangement here.
Fran Hartley's come on the wing. Leah Cotty has gone into 9, and Hannah Thompson will make her way back to this wing in a minute. They're just taking a little bit of pressure off a young player there and putting her in the scrum.
Yeah, and high shot there from the Barrow defenders. Just a clip of the lugs, really. It wasn't anything that game malicious, but it was high. And Leigh starting to turn the screw a little bit. 27 minutes on the clock. Could have perhaps looked to have touched that ball and knocked it back perhaps, but Leigh are going to find themselves 10 metres away from the Barrow line, and this is a golden opportunity for the Leigh side to post points.
Yeah, and we just spoke about a young player being taking a bit of pressure off by going in the scrum. Like to have seen one of the senior players there go in and take that touch line, and if someone stood on it, I think we stopped that going out.
Yeah. So Leigh again, good shape, but you've ran at the wrong person there with Marley and Cottier involved. Leigh move it right. They have got numbers here, and eventually they will cross. Hattie Douglas, I should say. Hattie Douglas has got in. They had numbers on that right hand side. They moved the ball well, and it's been coming, I guess. The last sort of 5-10 minutes, Leigh have been piling on the pressure, cutting the errors out, and they've finally got themselves over the whitewash. Yeah,
probably the way the last 15 minutes of this game has gone, that reflects kind of where the two teams have been at. Barrow will be really, really disappointed that they took that intercept and took the pressure off defending the try line, and then made a daft error in the midfield. So we can't allow that to happen. If when we're under the pressure, under the cosh like that, we need to get up and put some pressure on their try line and not put the pressure back on ourselves by making daft mistakes.
Yeah, so it's going to be a difficult conversion, so it might well be that Barrow retain the lead. Although in recent weeks we've seen some good touchline conversions in the female game.
Yeah, Faye Gaskins from the touchline against Leeds was...
Yeah, that's a good effort as well. Just drifted. Well, it didn't drift, it was just to the right-hand side of the post. Good attempt, nevertheless. Charlotte Malvin. So 6 points to 4, Barrow lead. Quite relieved that they're still ahead on the scoreboard. And they now need to regroup, go again, and try and cause a few more of these errors that Leigh were making in their own half, and build pressure from there. Turned a little bit on that wayward pass from Stewart, really. That's, we had a great attacking position, a few tackles in the bank, and ever since that sort of moment, Leigh have dominated.
Yeah, because I think you recognise that overlap and you go and put another 4 points, potentially 6 into the corner, and 12 is a long way back for Leigh, but not to be, and we find ourselves at 6 points to 4 with 10 minutes to go the first half.
Stewart kicks off. Nice. Leah Morris takes the ball, doesn't look for any runners, as most halfbacks do. She goes into contact, and she's met by Hutchinson and Capstick.
Be interesting to see if and when Kelly Morris comes onto the pitch. That's a mother and daughter combination.
Yeah, I actually play with my son, so but I'm old, so it's always nice for a family when they get things like that, mother and daughter playing in the same team.
I know it's happened a few times, probably lower down the ranks, but not sure about Super League.
It's a tremendous achievement. And I would say she's offside, but I don't
Come
know
on, Nicole, you're going to have to run faster.
And he's going to award this, and we've got a great view. I don't know what you think, Jodie.
Offside, he's give it.
Yeah, he has given offside. So
lucky.
I think she was. I think she was a yard or two off. And
Barrow just need to lift their body language here a little bit. They're starting to look like they're a bit defeated before.
Yeah, Leigh is certainly building confidence, and we can hear from our position a few of the voices on the field, and it's Leigh who is certainly up for this, and Barrow look as though they need half time, really.
Yeah, I think Morley just having a bit of a word with Kappa there about maybe where she should be positionally in a full-back role.
Yeah, and Morley's the one who's rolled the sleeves up and took contact, but again, Leigh are fired up now, and even dangerous in defence as well as attack, and Morley's very, very slow at her feet. Neil now takes the ball at contact, and again she's met by a brick wall of a defence, and Barrow find it very difficult to make metres, but I guess at this stage it's all about not making mistakes. Stewart, nice little pass to Temple. No, it's Clough actually.
Yeah, and when Leigh are getting a couple of these big middles into contact, then there's got to be space somewhere else. Yeah. So we just need to find it and recognise it and go for it.
Yeah, good metres there from Sturzik, and better still from a Barrow perspective. She's won a penalty for holding down, just short of the 40-metre line, so it is a penalty rather than a 6 again. And Barrow will be delighted about that, because that's relieving. And
only about 2 yards. 2 yards off. Well scored, Jordan.
So Cottier will be the one. And Fran Harley's come in from the wing. And Leigh are definitely muscling up.
And that's what confidence points can give you, isn't it? So they look a completely different team now that they've put points on the board.
Yeah. And Jodie Crawford's found herself on the field. I'm not.
Looks like for Morley.
Yeah, looks like Morley. So
she's getting her 10 minutes rest before half time.
Yeah, well, obviously she'll get 10 and then the 15 of half time herself, so she'll get 25 rest. Barrow probably a little bit weaker. Oh,
nice footwork, Cluffy.
Oh, superb run from
just knock him over
Clough.
now.
That's a really strong run there from Clough, and now. So now they're a little bit of 6s and 7s, the Leigh defence. Temple going very direct. She's only tackled
She's dying for a try, isn't it?
Yeah, the 2 out. We're on the 5th, but we shift it right.
Nicole
There's definitely numbers here. Again, skill level, let them down. Again, Stewart, poor pass. Would have been nice. Capstick could have picked it up, but they definitely have the numbers on the right there, and just the skill level again, letting them down. But nice for Barrow, because it's been a long time that they've been away from this 20-metre red zone, and they've at least put an attacking set together. And
it's Claire Mullaney and Alice Fisher coming on now, so there'll be a handful in that middle, especially Claire Mullaney.
So the Leigh are not getting any weaker by making interchanges, and that's run tackle there by Crawford. Run from dummy half again. Kate Howard dangerous, but Neil sticks to the task from marker.
Oh, come on.
Again, good contact from Stewart. And she's helped by Hutchinson. And again, Leigh probably guilty of not looking up down this left-hand channel. Barrow are short on numbers, but they've got to the last. You're probably looking at a kick. Amy Taylor puts in the big kick. Capstick doesn't like the look of that. And it's I never let a rugby ball bounce. It is still the last. And a great offload in the tackle. Leah Morris is going to go over, and she does. Well, if Chloe Capstick could have a time again, she'd have gone for that one, but she didn't. The ball bounced. And Leigh have taken full advantage. So the tide is certainly turning here. Just 4 minutes before half time on the clock, and I think Amanda Wilkinson would like them back in the dressing rooms almost now, just to reiterate the fact that things were working and we've maybe gone away from things a little. I'm not sure why the delay was there, actually. There's a bit of a debate. Perhaps it was about onside, offside from the kick, but I think they were onside. And the try's been given. Charlotte Melvin. Again, we'll line this up, and if the evidence of a previous kick is anything to go by, this is certainly well within her capabilities and well within her range. And she'll be looking to extend this lead. So yeah, that's gone through the uprights. Nice conversion from Melvin. That's the score extended then. Barrow Raiders 6, Leigh Leopards 10. So Leigh have cut down the errors, looking dangerous. They're probably, fair to say, they're playing with a little bit better shape than the Barrow team, while Barrow's strengths probably their forwards, especially the strong runs from the likes of Clough, Temple, Stewart and Morley. And they've probably got to revert to playing to those strengths. But Stewart kicks off. And again, Melvin met by a strong Barrow defence, so both teams will want to tackle well or get to the end of the set in the case of Leigh. Leigh working the ball downfield. Morris is heavily involved. That's a nice pass out the back. Again, Douglas is, when she chimes in the line, she's looking dangerous. Already got one try this afternoon. And Leigh are running with some good shape. Cabane taken to the line. So Leigh will be reasonably happy they got the fifth tackle. Barrow will be happy, but they'll want to deal a lot better with this kick from Amy Taylor. Again, it's a difficult one to take, but Sturziker again allows it to bounce. And this time there's a knock-on from the Leigh attacker. Barrow again probably got away with that one. These high kicks from Amy Taylor are causing no end of problems, and Barrow are finding it difficult to get themselves under the high ball. It seems to be dropping in no man's land, which is fair play. And anyway, the half-time whistle goes there. Yeah, we have got a timekeeper, but the referees decided it was half-time anyway.
So half-time score here at the Northern Competition Stadium in Barrow. It is Barrow number 6, Leigh 10.
Yeah, so you may have heard that on the tannoy, but it's Barrow Raiders 6, Leigh Leopards 10. Probably on reflection, about right. Barrow certainly dominated the first 20, mainly on the back of a lot of the errors, but Leigh have come back into the game and shown some good shape, and then the error from the Barrow defence in terms of not collecting the high ball on the last tackle has allowed Leigh to sneak into the lead. Your thoughts, Jodie, on that half?
Yeah, I think they'll be a little bit disappointed with how hard they worked on goal line defence and the times that they kept him out for all of that hard work. And then moral of the story again is 2 silly mistakes, 2 tries for Leigh. So Amanda will be mega disappointed with that, getting back in the change rooms at half time. Let's regroup, and then we have to come out in the second half and kind of forget about the errors that you've made in the first half. Like Kappa can't be going all the way through that second half thinking, I don't know if I'll catch the next ball. I'm catching the next ball and I'm going to make 20-30 metres on the return, and got to come out with that kind of message in their own heads, and I'm sure the coach will get into them now at half time. And I think that other than the 2 mistakes and 10 points to Leigh, then Barrow will be disappointed to go in at the break. I guess for Leigh, they will be happy that they've managed to come back from being 6-0 down. 2 good finishes to our errors, so taking nothing away from Leigh in that perspective. And they'll probably be really disappointed with their first 20 minutes where they kind of let us control the game and dominate in the possession. And again, we should have probably put more points on the board when we spent a bit of time camped up in their half. So both teams will be happy about a few things, disappointed about a few others, and let's see which team comes out strongest in the second half.
Yeah, so we'll sign off for a 5-minute break, and we'll rejoin just before the start of the second half with commentary. So, welcome back to the Northern Competition Stadium. Half-time score in the Women's Super League. Barrow Raiders 6, Leigh Leopards 10. The Leigh Leopards team have made their way to the field, and followed by the officials, and now the Barrow team are coming out of the tunnel. Slight wind in Barrow's favour in this half. As always in Barrow, we get a wind off the sea. Whether or not they can use that to their advantage, I don't know, but the swirling wind did help the Leigh Leopards in the first half when Barrow failed to collect, and maybe a similar game plan from the Barrow team might be something they've talked about during the half-time break.
Yeah, I think that it's something you can use in your advantages, the wind here.
Leigh get us off to start of another half. Kick found by Temple. Neil. Yeah, shoot. Yeah. Neil takes the ball forward. Cottier works at dummy half, and Stewart hasn't had a rush yet. Nicole. Normally she's spelled just before half time to get the extra minutes, so that's good that her fitness levels are improving sufficiently to hopefully play the all 80, because it's fair to say she's been the most dangerous Barrow player this season. Again, inside ball to Neil, she's forced backwards. And Crawford, Temple, Stewart, all keen to take this ball. It is Stewart. Nice little show and go. Temple, she's dangerous as well, so Stewart's used that to her advantage. Barrow have got to the last tackle. They haven't made too many metres, but they'll be pleased that they've got there. And as I say, that's a kick, and exactly what I said. The Leigh team have failed to do with it, and Capstick is she's done really well, Capstick. Great chase, and she's brought the Leigh player down a yard out. Could have been even slightly better if the Leigh player had fumbled there. And strong defence again. Capstick involved, Sturziker involved, and almost a perfect start for Barrow, given the fact that they got to the end of the set, put in a dangerous kick, and the Leigh team failed to deal with it.
Yeah, and 3 tackles in, and they haven't made it out of the 10 yet, so need to work really hard in defence here, no penalties.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that Barrow right edge now, there's the shorter numbers, if Leigh choose to go that way, but they've sorted themselves out, and they haven't gone that way anyway, so...
and I think they are the type of team that can potentially hurt you from anywhere with that pace, so Barrow just need to make sure that they are switched on.
Yeah, they've got some athletes, the Leigh team, it's fair to say. And on the kick, and Sturziker under that. She was not letting that one bounce, and Barrow captain playing the centre with 11 on her back. She puts Barrow in a decent position. Neil, she's getting through a bit of work now, that's good. And she's got herself to the 30-metre line. Yeah,
I thought if Emily had just skipped into the right-hand side of that player, there was a massive hole.
And Smith takes the ball to the line, inside ball to Crawford. Barrow trundling down the field, making metres. Pattinson at the back again to Sturziker. Sturziker, oh, lovely. Oh, I was going to say a lovely ball. Not caught. Found Harley there. It was over her shoulder, really, but it was a good idea, because I think there was a bit of a 2-on-1 on that left fringe. But in terms of field position, Barrow will be relatively pleased, but obviously they need points to get back into this game, and every opportunity you've got to
I think Fran came on a hard line there inside Kappa's kind of space. If Kappa had gone through that hole, it was the right hole, right pass, wrong person.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. So Leigh will look. Barrow defending a little bit narrow there, but they've worked it out. Fortunately, Temple's out there, and she's got a bit of pace to make up the ground. So Leigh.
Yeah, Barrow need to take some confidence from that previous set and don't let them out of this half.
Yeah, I mean it's a bit easier to do when you're on your own on the goal line. So that's a high shot over the top there from Kerry-Ann Smith. nothing in it, but you can't get away with high shots, unfortunately, anymore. Well, not unfortunately, we've got to look after everyone, but yeah, nothing to get away with. So Leigh will be happy. More meters from the kick, and
that's just a let-off. Leigh will be absolutely over the moon with that, and Barrow should be so disappointed. You've defended and not let him out of 20 metres on one set, and then the next set comes around and you've let him get 50 metres up the pitch from the same area.
Yeah, and then they're attacking from a really good position. And I said all day that Leigh have played with some good shape. And Barrow scrambled relatively well, but I just fear that there are some gaps in the Barrow defence. They don't seem to number up quite as well as they could. And again, I think there's numbers here. Good tackle from Sturziker on Melvin. But Leigh are looking dangerous. Every time they get in the 30, they are dangerous. Got a bit of strike. And again, a little bit of a lack of skill there. Blackwood's put that down. It was a difficult pass to take.
But it was on.
Yeah, it was on.
Which is the worry, I think, for Barrow. They need to make sure that they're numbered up. And
loose carry from Harley, and that's exactly what Barrow didn't want.
I think Fran's still on holiday.
Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing that she's not going into this game for the moment. Harley, she was involved in a bit of the mix-up of the last set where Sturziker put a pass to ground, and she's gone in there with a loose carry, and Leigh buoyed by that. Plenty of noise coming from the team when the error is made, which is always a sign that they're on the game. And look at they've gone short side out, they've gone open. They look well. Harley's redeemed herself there with a good tackle. Right, she's give six again. I'm not sure about that. Didn't take that long, but dangerous. Melvin takes it up.
I said Beth Pat put hands on after tackle was complete.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, bit of a juggle, but she's regained possession there, Milani. And still moving forward. Leigh just inches away from the line. Goes out the back. Good pressure from, I was going to say good pressure from Temple, but she actually overran it. And it's Barrow have got a touch. Knock on from Barrow, and despite Temple's efforts in moving the Leigh player back 10-15 metres, they will come back for the scrum. So more defending for Barrow to do. I think it's important that they don't go 2 scores down, because it could be a long way back.
Yeah, be careful going for the intercept there, because if we hadn't got just a hand on the second occasion, they've absolutely shot us for numbers. Yeah. It looks like on that edge that, is Hannah Thompson still on and in the scrum?
Again, we look short. Leigh have done us here. And that's a great tackle from Hutchinson, because Leigh put 4 players on the right, then they all switched to the left, and Barrow were left with 2 defenders. It was a nice scrum play, but the execution wasn't great, and Hutchinson's come up with a fabulous tackle to save the day, but the Barrow's still under a lot of pressure, and I think they're going to be in here.
Brilliant from Ness.
So they made a fool of me with that comment, but a great cover tackle from Temple, and Barrow will be absolutely delighted that they got away with that, because Leigh looked very, very dangerous.
I think they've just started to spot a couple of weaknesses, haven't they? And it only takes maybe 1 or 2 weaknesses in a team good teams to recognise it and just keep going at them and keep going at them.
Yeah, I think it goes out saying that Barrow need to play the game away from this red zone, even with the ball in hand. They've got to get some field position. They've got to allow Leigh to come out, which is fine, but if they leave them in this area for too long, there will be points scored. That Leigh are running with some good shape.
And this is where the senior players in the team need to step up, take a bit of responsibility and get us out of the danger zone instead of leaving it to some of the kind of younger, less experienced players in the team.
Yeah. So Neil taking the ball forward, Stewart doing the talking, and she's got it. And out the back for Smith. She finds Capstick.
Probably not going to be long until we see Morley back on the field.
Yeah, you'd hope so. You'd hope there's nothing wrong with Jodie. It's just a break. That's back to 1, actually. A hand in there from the Leigh attack. It wasn't 1-on-1, so nothing illegal, but it's gone forward. And Barrow, that's a tackle 0, I would imagine. And Stewart, nice, as we always say from Stewart, nice little show and go. Does that well close to the line, but she also does it in midfield. And a half break from her. Crawford now. It looks a bit loose, that carry, but she has clung on. A tackle from the side might have dislodged that ball, but all good, and a 6 again as well.
Six again, right,
this is an opportunity. Kerry-Ann Smith taking on the line as half-backs, good half-backs do take on the line, mix it up a little bit. Temple, she's not one of those lateral runs that she does, but it's probing, looking for holes, and again, it's unfortunate. The ball had on the ground there from Temple. She's probably best keeping hold. Nice strong run here from the fullback Doga. She's been a danger. Harley and Neil in the tackle. So Leigh over the halfway line now. Taylor taking the ball forward. Turning it to be a good contest at the moment. A couple of errors here and there, but Leigh attacking strongly. And Barrow's defence is pretty good. And again, Hutchinson's come in from the centre position. A strong tackle there again. Might get an idea to stop running at Hutchinson the way she's putting herself about. And again, she's got involved there fantastically well. And I think she's caused a knock-on. Well, it'll be the first offence with a Barrow head and feed. Could be argued that she's stolen that ball and Barrow have knocked on, but
yeah, I think we got away with one there. It looked like that it went backwards off Claire, and then Kez knocked it on the ground, but he's deemed that the Leigh players knocked it on first, so I think got away with that one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's given a loose carry for the Leigh player to actually lock it, but I think Claire's hands were certainly helping it out. And as you say, it went backwards initially, but Smith's failed to gather. But we're a little bit biased in the Barrow commentary box, so we'll take that. And Barrow got a chance to come away. Stewart again. Stewart's getting through a mountain of work. She's good to see. As you said earlier, Scotland call up this week, which would be a great boost for her to get herself an international cap. Hutchinson now showing what she can do in attack, and again, it's good contact, exactly as she does in defence. Temple this time, that's better from Temple, a bit more direct. She's been running Lasserie and probing, but not finding a way. But when she goes forward, she's very dangerous. Smith again, she's got Crawford on the outside, and Crawford, again, good contact from Crawford, doing well.
Let's go again down this left edge.
And there's I would say, there's numbers here on the left. If perhaps Sturzer at the back, might have been an option there. But Clough's ever willing. Got to the last, and then a high kick could pose problems here. Certainly, it's gone to Stewart. And she does exactly that. And I think there's going to be a problem here for the Leigh defence. Oh, great take.
Get her over the line, get her back over the line. Well done.
Greenfield's taking it well. But forced backwards, great chase from the Barrow team. And if you can't score a try, that's you can't force an error, probably that's the next best thing. It'll be interesting whether Leigh drop out to compete on the 10, or they look for a deep kick here. A lot of the men's teams are competing on the 10-metre line, but well, it's a bit of a nothing kick really. It didn't really get much depth, but didn't even give the Leigh players a chance. Clough's done really well there. That was a bit of a shoulder charge, in fact, I thought, from Cabain, but
Clough has just stepped it up a gear in this last 5 minutes, so let's have more of it.
So Stewart, again, as we said, she's always dangerous. And
yes, get in.
I think she's there. And she is. Fantastic again from Nicole Stewart. Second try of the game. And Barrow about level.
Great try, great power. Barrow's try scorer, number 13, Nicole Stewart.
And we don't play the most exciting rugby, do we? But who cares when you put points on the board?
Yeah, I mean, Nicole's so dangerous from that distance. There was plenty of Leigh players there, but there's not a lot you can do. She's got this upper body strength. She's got a good leg drive, and she knows where the line is.
Yep, and that's obviously a great asset to have. And when you do try and play more expansive rugby and you're putting it through more pairs of hands, then more mistakes are likely to happen. So if it's route one and that's what works, let's just stick with route one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you've got teams who aren't numbering up properly and there's gaps out wide, you look up and you see, what's the best option. But Leigh's defence on the whole have been well numbered, and let's keep doing what works. Route one is the way Barrow have been playing, and the forwards are pretty strong. They're probably the least affected in terms of personnel change in the off season.
Yeah, and I think that year in the league below for them will have done them a world of good as well, because winning every week, putting points on the board against teams gives you that confidence, and you work out how to play and how to play all the different combinations.
And a great conversion there from Nicole Stewart. So it's Nicole Stewart 12, Leigh Leopard's 10.
Yeah.
And she's going for a break now. I was kind of hoping that she'd get a 40-minute or 80-minute display.
I was hoping for an 80-minute performance out of a 2.
But so I'm not sure. Is it Lindsay has come on for Stewart?
So Cotty will go at 13, Beth Lindsay will go in at 9, and then still propping. We've got Maddie and Jodie Crawford, and Jodie Morley stood with a bib on over there dancing about, and she can't wait to get back on the pitch.
Yeah, 24 minutes remaining on the clock, and we've probably got to get through this period. Neil takes the ball into contact. She's growing into the game, which is good. The Morley and Stewart combination are off the field at the moment, so they'll probably come back for a good last 15 minutes. The danger players, and if Barrow is still leading at that point, then we probably have some confidence that they're going to go on and win this game.
Yeah, I think that definitely Amanda's got to be kind of thinking about how she can finish the game, as well as kind of just phase out this next 10 minutes, but putting more points on the board would be ideal in that period.
And Crawford again in the tackle. She's showing some improvement today, getting through some work. Cottier's becoming a bit of a playmaker here, and taking Nicole Stewart's position literally there with a nice little show and go, which is the trademark of Nicole. And Pattinson inside ball to Clough. Good shot from Melvin, but Clough doesn't take a step backwards.
I think they read that one, didn't they?
They did read it, but she's brave. Pattinson, nice ball to Sturzaker, and Sturzaker makes a break, breaks a tackle. She thinks of a kick. Is that a charge down? It's still 5-0. Nice pass off the ground from Harley. Boot anywhere. She said it's gone back, but hang on.
She kicked that, Ness.
Yes, Ness has found the ball. Yes. Fantastic try from Vanessa Temple. It came from absolutely nothing in terms of panic kick, really, from Leigh Clough. Not how Barrow really wanted to end the set, but they've made something of it. And Leigh will be wanting the kicking game next week.
I think it was an attempted kick from Emily first, probably someone you don't want the ball to fall to for a kick.
Yeah.
Then to Cloughie again. I'm not sure where her kicking expertise comes from, and then I wasn't sure if Nessa tried to gather it with her arms and knocked it on, or she had managed to get a toe and boot it through. I couldn't quite see for me, but like we said, we don't care how they come, but as long as we get points on the board, then that'll do Barrow the world of good, with a little bit of an advantage going into the last 22 minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, I know it was a comedy of errors really from the Barrow side in some respects, but the Leaf defence couldn't deal with it, and they perhaps have to look at themselves. Once the ball's there bouncing a couple of times this half, they failed to deal with it, and Barrow have first of all, created a tackle on the wrong try line, and now they've come up with the goods with a try. So this is
it's
Lindsay
just off the
now.
cuff rugby, isn't it? It's like
Yep. And I always think the number of players in the frame makes a difference, and the Barrow chase was there. Lindsay's trying from the touchline, fails to convert. Would have been nice to get 2 scores ahead, but 16-10 is a healthy lead. And
Nicole will be receiving that she sat down there when another try has gone over and didn't get the opportunity to kick it.
Yeah, so it's no longer the Nicole Stewart show. So the Barrow team run back to their position, a bit of a smile on the face. The body language from Leigh this time is a little bit, suspect. They've obviously been upset about not dealing with that, and they realise they're in a game. First game of the season.
I think it's always a tough game between Barrow and Leigh. There's probably been 2 exceptions. Was the first game of this season where Leigh hammered us, and then I think we had 1 year down here just after we'd lost Alex, and I kind of think there's a lot of emotion in that day, but we managed to absolutely hammer them as well.
Yeah, and Temple's not happy there. She wants to fight. We need to calm her down. She has taken a high shot, but you got to keep your emotions in check, or else it could be you who finds yourself in the bin. And it was a good job there from her teammates that kept her away from landing a punch, I think.
Yeah, another one of Leah Cottier's utility, grabbing her by the scruff of the neck and bringing her out of there before she got herself into a little bit of a scrap. So well done, Leah Cottier.
Yeah, I think if my memory serves me right, Vanessa lost a little bit of a head in the reverse fixture at least. She went 2 plays with a few things that went on that day, and she seemed to be very angry.
Yeah, and if it was, I don't know if he's just pulled the captain there, the one that he's just spoken to, or that's the person who committed the offence, but I think she's going to have to be careful as well, because if she's on 2 shoulder charges in this second half, I haven't been spotted by the referee.
Yeah, I think there was a team warning early in the first half. Obviously, the team warnings only last so long, and probably if you clean for 15, 20 minutes, then they kind of go. Morley's back in action, so that's a positive for Barrow. So, yeah, I'm not saying the
big 20-minute shift to come from Mozzie.
20 minutes on the clock. Crawford again. She's grown into this game, Crawford. It's her best game for me in a Barrow shirt.
Yeah, and I think she's another one who's not growing into the season because she's young. She's growing into the season because she's been off and had a baby and an ACL reconstruction. So different reasons for her, but it's about just kind of getting their minutes in a belt and just growing and growing as the season progresses. So it's nice to see her back on the pitch.
That was Kerry-Ann Smith taking the line on, and as she has done, and Lindsay taking the ball forward. Yes, it is, and we're on the last. And again, are we going to see a kick that may well cause problems? Kerry-Ann Smith aside, a grubber this time. These high kicks have been causing so many problems. Maybe a high kick to the corner might have been a better option, because Leigh have come up with the ball and coming away from the defence. But either way, we got to the end of the set. It was an attacking kick of sorts. Leigh coming away in the shape of Mackenzie Taylor. She's made some good meters. Again, what Barrow don't want to do is give away a penalty. It's fine if Leigh are coming away from their own line, but they looked very dangerous when they've had field position. Howard there making a break. She's looked dangerous from dummy half. And they got to the kick. This is Morris, and Clough didn't want to know that. Neither does Capstick. Clough's eventually picked it up. Someone had to take control there, and I suppose it was Clough in the end. But again, those kicks have caused problems to the Barrow defence, and they aren't showing any great confidence to take them on the full, which is it'll do you in the end. I think that's chest, but the referee has bowed to the appeals of the Barrow team and decided it did catch the head. And relieving penalty again for Barrow. They've had so many penalties in this area where they've been allowed out.
Yeah, and it's a tale of kind of 2 different sections of the game. Every time Barrow get into a routine where they're running hard, they're getting penalties given for them, and then we look the better team, and then vice versa. When Leigh were doing it and running harder and getting a bit more momentum, and we were giving away penalties, then they look the better team. So
yeah, So a good strong run from Clough. Lindsay finds Cotier, Morley into the action. Certainly the early part of this half, Leigh were dominating. I was a bit fearful that they were going to run away with the game, but in the last sort of 10 minutes, Barrow have come right back into it, scored a lovely couple of tries. And they're growing in confidence, and it's a real ding-dong battle, which is what really we're looking for in Super League, isn't it? It's these are the close contests that we like, and okay, we're in the bottom four, but you know, everyone likes a close game. Marley's thrown a...
That's a Nicole pass.
Oh, it's Nicole, actually. She's back on the field, and she's done a couple of them today. For all the good work, she's thrown in a couple of wayward passes, and it's a Lowley. There's an appeal there, but clearly it wasn't high. Sturzica's lying on a little bit.
When you've got your nose in front like this, it's just about completion and keeping you cool. And the team that does that the best in these last 15 minutes, I think, will go on to win the game.
Yeah, when you talk about completion, it's defensive completion as well, isn't it? Without giving daft penalties away. Crawford gaining the tackle. Stewart is back on the field, so there's going to be 15 minutes from her. Oh, good shot from Clough, but she's bounced off. So, but nevertheless, Douglas's momentum was stopped, and we've got to the last. And will this be another of those high kicks? It will. And now Barrow have got a show.
This one.
No, and again they don't show. And this is exactly what Leigh did. And eventually Clough has come up with the ball a yard out. But these high kicks from both sides are causing problems.
I heard a big shout for...
Sturzica's brought the tackle. I think she's got the legs here.
Get caught by her. Go,
she has. The fullback's coming across. I think. Is it the half? It was the fullback. Douglas. Great tackle from Douglas. But great break as well. Douglas has hurt herself in the tackle. So Capstick. Superb break from Sturzica there, and the lead player has gone down. Not too sure about that. Broken the momentum of the attack, but we'll have to trust that she is hurt. She does look hurt, to be fair. And it is a head that's a worry. So
them high knees from Emily running down that wing, great to see.
Yeah, we haven't seen that trademark run too much this season, have we? But certainly made a good 40-50 metres there before she was brought to the ground, and fair play at the cover and defence.
And well done for Leah Cotier and Kappa getting up with her. And I think at one point I was worried she was going to play the ball, nobody was going to be behind her, but they worked extra hard and got there.
Yeah, you get the feeling if Barrow could score again, that could be the game. I don't know if there's 2 tries in this Leigh too.
Yeah, because I'm not sure my nerves can take this for another 14 minutes. Or do we want 13 points from Nicole Stewart?
I don't know.
To finish it off.
Nice little drop goal, you think?
Why not?
Well, the drop goal is as good as a try at this stage because it sends it to the 2-score game, which is what we're saying is probably beyond the Leigh team.
Yeah, and
Morley.
If we get a penalty, that's another massive head knock.
A nice offload. Morley, this time she's tried 2 or 3 offloads this game, and this time it comes off. And then 6 again. I'm afraid they're the rules. Holding down is 6 again. It isn't apparently. So the lead player, I think it was Melvin, who took a hefty bang in that tackle. Smith, and Temple looks dangerous. You've just got to build pressure here. You don't need to be throwing any wayward passes because and she was pushed over, but it's the ball carrier's responsibility to retain possession, and you don't want to give the referee an opportunity. There was 3 tackles still there in the bank, and Barrow in a great position to put the game to bed. And Vanessa will be disappointed with that one. And Amanda Wilkinson will be pulling her hair out as well.
With substitution come back on the 13th, Nicole Stewart, followed by Hyder Owens and going off was number 18, Fran Halley, also by Michigan Coxhill.
I think that's really, really smart what Barrow have done here. They've put Leah Cottier out onto this wing where Fran had a bit of error in her. And although Maddie grew into the game in the second half, a couple of errors from her is now kind of, I would say this is probably Barrow's strongest 13 players that they've currently got available to them.
Yeah, and then unfortunately there, Vanessa Temple's got this off really wound up. She's messing around in the tackle, not allowing the Leigh player to rise, and she's given away a cheap penalty really. She needs to get her emotions in check really, because all right, it's all about desire and wanting to win, but you've got to do it in a controlled manner and hurt the defence. And she's come up with a couple of errors there. Firstly, to knock on, and then secondly, to give a penalty away. And it's a relieving
Why
penalty.
she's done that though? She's kicked the ball not even over head height. If we're just covering the touchline, somebody should be knocking them back in.
Yeah, it's just basic, isn't it? But the Barrow defence are up for this. You can tell. Leigh.
I'm assuming Shannon's not available to come back on, otherwise she potentially could come in and take a little bit of pressure off Hannah on that edge if she was available, but I think she might be done for the afternoon.
Yeah, I think the way she was limping. Nice little break there from Howard. She's looked dangerous throughout from dummy half. Tackled by the ever-reliable Marley. Shot ball. Finds Dainty. And Leigh are now in an attacking position. Certainly in another tackle's time they'll be wanting to put an attacking kick up. And Dorgus again.
Good read, Emily.
Yeah, she's dangerous, Dorgus. They've got to the last. This is danger time. Barrow certainly wanting to keep the ball. Taylor's caused a lot of problems, but that should be straightforward, really. It was almost like a pass. It was probably the least effective of the high kicks that Taylor's put up this afternoon. And Barrow.
Now we must complete this set.
Yeah. Lovely from Temple. And that's the positive energy that Temple can have. She's hurt the lead defender as well, and Lindsay's coming away.
Go then.
So we're effectively defending 12 players now. That I think it's a shoulder, so physio's on and play continues. Hutchinson, great run. And I think Hutchinson might have hurt herself. It was a good tackle actually from Rihanna Burke, and it's either knocked the wind out of the sails or it's caused some damage to her shoulder. Capstick. Oh, lovely from Capstick. And Barrow have done well there. They caught the first tackle within the 10 and they've got over the halfway line. Stewart will no doubt put in a deep kick and a high kick, and this is a tester. She looks quite confident, and Dorgus has looked quite safe to be fair. But Clough, that was brilliant from Clough. Great chase. And she actually wanted to pin the lead player in that area.
I think she had to make that as well.
Sturziker as well in the tackle with Pattinson, and Barrow would be happy with this, playing a bit of what I call the game of chess, backwards and forwards, completing your sets. That's fine when you're in the lead. Yeah. Leigh are going to have to try and do something a little bit special, and that might cause errors, who knows.
Yeah, that scoreboard pressure's on them, so hopefully we kind of potentially see an error or two creeping in from them.
Yeah,
and not a try.
Yeah, I think they've got Barrow here. But Temple's covering. Yeah, they had numbers. Maybe if the wing was a little speedier, they should have set off down that touchline and caused some havoc, but she never. Barrow got to the last.
Bit of cramp looked like it's setting in.
Again. Nice. Cottier actually did really well. Allowed Melvin to catch the ball, but tackled her instantly. So, the risk of dropping it herself was negated by the fact she chose to just tackle the lead player immediately. And
I don't think she had much choice there, considering she's about 2 foot taller than her either. So that worked in Barrow's favour, definitely.
So Crawford again, rumbling forward. Good D from Taylor. Pattinson. She finds Sturziker. There was a bit of a gap on the wing there. She could have maybe took Amy Taylor on for a bit of pace there, but she didn't quite see it. Pattinson inside. Clough, ever dangerous. Barrow, as I said before, I'll be happy with this. Set for set. And before you know it, the time's up. Pattinson, Morley. Again, Morley takes it to the lead defence. Leigh there in numbers.
I'd have another look at this left edge here.
Yeah, and Pattinson, we've got Sturziker out the back. It's a little bit slow motion, but Clough has injected some pace. Is that a shoulder charge? No. Melvin didn't wrap her arms at all, but she's got away with that one maybe. Short side play. Oh, and Lindsay's... well, she's decided to go on her own. Morley is desperately trying to offload, and she did, but a little bit too late. The referee called held, so that's the end of the set. It's not the end of the world either. You know, we're deep in the 20-metre zone, and Leigh are looking at each other and don't seem as organised as they once were. Earlier in this match, they had great shape. And are they up for the fight? Can they magic something in these final 7 minutes? And the answer could well be no. They've knocked on there. As I said before, they didn't look organised. And Barrow have got on their faces. And that elusive score might well come to put this game to bed. We've got 6
Any
minutes on the
point to
clock.
put this game to bed. Nicole's right boot could put this game to bed.
Yeah, I'm sure if you were on that field, Jodie, as the captain as you were for many years, you'd be talking to the team and saying, right, let's head to the post and put that 1-pointer over, wouldn't you?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, come on, John, you'd have been saying that, surely. You only think it. So, and here from the...
Or just a completed set and turnover inside their own 10 would...
Yeah.
I'd be happy with too.
Yeah, I think we want to get again. Stewart takes the defence on, looking for a hat trick, and every time she gets the ball.
But also, I didn't have the firepower that she's got to go and put another 4 points onto the board.
No, well, maybe not.
She might just back herself to go through that middle.
Barrow putting the ball through hands, but they don't look that confident when they do that. And I prefer these little forward players that we've been. It's a nice little combination there with Sturziker and Clough. And that's here we've got Stewart and Morley lined up, and this is the player for me. And I've got to go. Anne Crawford's got herself in there, and maybe that wasn't the player. Right idea, strong surge and run, but when you've got Stewart and Morley who've done so much damage throughout this whole season, sat there in the pocket waiting for the ball.
I got a feeling that was a miss-out pass meant for Jodie Morley, and Jodie Crawford stuck her hand out, and hence the error, but could be wrong because I couldn't quite see from here.
But once again, it's not the worst place in the world to turn over, but you'd have hoped that we could have run another minute off the clock and we'd have been a minute closer to that final hooter.
And every minute that passes by, it's more scoreboard pressure on Leigh, so obviously we're a bit biased, but we're stood here hoping that they then therefore make an error off the back of that, and any Leigh fans watching will be hoping that they can break us down and make a break and go on and potentially score. Yeah,
so Leigh coming out, Morley.
Take the ball, Moz.
Was one-on-one on a potential steal there, and Capstick's eventually got involved as well. Leigh coming out, Capstick's done well. She's growing in every game, and Temple's involved in Hutchinson. Defensively, Barrow now clearly have got the bit between the teeth.
And then Cap has been told now to get back into full-back position by Morley, I think.
Yeah.
So it's just recognising that about when does she need to be in the line and when does she need to be at the back.
Johnson again, she's worked hard throughout. I think she's offside the chaser there, which was Dorgus. She's going to get in the 10 as well. And for me, the referee has spotted it.
That's great work from Kez, that. Just using her brain, 4 minutes to go, suck it up and take everything out of Leigh's energy that she can. So
he's actually give a high shot, but we were in a perfect position, and she was offside as well. She's probably a yard off Dorgus, but she's either way it's a penalty to Barrow. Not the official time, but the scoreboard is saying 3 minutes remaining on the clock. So you're probably looking, if you complete 2 sets for Barrow and 1 for Leigh, so it's just a case of completing.
Yeah, and take as long as you need to take in these rucks.
A set, really, a defensive set. You don't want any errors. That was a juggle from Morley, and that would have been the worst outcome possible, giving Leigh that field position. We've got to keep rumbling forward. Crawford doing it again. Leigh defence not moving up like they were in the first half. They're almost gifting those 10 yards to the Barrow attack.
And I think the 2 props that Leigh brought on as subs potentially gave them more energy and a little bit more firepower than the two that started and are now finishing the game. So it would have been interesting to see if they kept them on for longer. But I guess that's what you got to work with your rotation of prop forwards.
Yeah, and again, as I said, Barrow just trying to get to the end of the set. They've just worked it up with one person plays, and that's a nice little kick to end the set from Lindsay. Just what the coach probably wanted, so which allows the Barrow defence to line up. And Leigh haven't really looked like going to line for the field, have they?
You shouldn't have said that, should you? But just got to switch on here now. You said one defensive set, so let's have it here.
Yeah, Leah's had a good game. Obviously.
She has, but I don't like this. I'm not keen on this celebrating stuff before the whistle's blown. So you've celebrated a good kick, you've celebrated a player of the match, but celebrate when you've completed this defensive set.
Yeah, and as we said, there's 2 minutes on the clock. There's probably a set each if we work on a minute a set, which most teams tend to think. Barrow will be absolutely delighted with field position. Leigh are going to have to do something different than the one-up drives that they're currently doing. Whether it's an offload or they've scattered 3 defenders there, so and then the hooker's gone. Is it a hooker or the fullback? Hooker. Yeah. So we're talking about a minute to go. Yeah, and out the back again, and Dorcas has looked dangerous. And,
get her out, Fluffy.
With the cover tackle, probably the most dangerous player has Dorcas been for Leigh. And Leigh moving the ball. Barrow are short on this left flank, be it. Oh, that's possibly forward. Even if that's
forward.
definitely
that's
forward.
A mile forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
And well, I'm not sure what he's given. I don't know if he's given the forward pass actually, but either way, the Leigh player's gone into touch. Yeah, he's given touch rather than forward. And that would have been a travesty if we'd allowed that to be picked up and scored. But the scoreboard clock has hit 0. The time off by the referee. We have got an injury down here with Clough looking as though she's got cramp. I don't think Cottier needs to get involved. The physio should have been over there really, and because Barrow do not want to be down with 11 players when they're coming out.
Come on, Tinny.
Yeah, Barrow physio eventually spots that Clough's been down for a good 2 or 3 minutes, and Cottier's done the magic and relieved the cramp. Christian Chow just about gets
6 up your jumper carries.
Yeah, and keep hold of that, Emily. They'll be looking for one-on-one steals, I would imagine. As I say, the time's almost up. Sure if we've got an official timekeeper today. Barry Hartwell normally comes from the RFL, so we're looking at Lucas Seal, the referee, to blow his whistle. And again, time off, injury. Is it the Barrow player? Is it the Leigh player? Or is it both? Both. Kelly Morris for Leigh, Jodie Crawford for Barrow. Both needing a bit of attention. Oh, certainly, yeah. Both physios are on. Both thumbs in the air. So, say complete. We're a little bit unsure as to how long's left. We're not far away from that final hoot and be a third victory of the season for the Barrow team. Slow play the ball, but that doesn't matter. And that's I'd still run with a bit of aggression. And the hoop.
Get in, and now we can celebrate that Leah Clough was player of the match and fully deserved. So well done, Cloughie.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic result for Barrow Raiders. Leigh gave them a bit of a trouncing in the opening game of the season, but they've come back and 16 points to 10 victory. You must be delighted as being part of the coaching staff, Jodie. Great victory for the Barrow team. Yeah,
I'm absolutely delighted. It's always good to get one over on Leigh. I think they've been kind of there and thereabouts with us for a very long time. Since we formed at Barrow Island and came down to Barrow Raiders, there's always been that kind of us and Leigh, and been in finals, been in semi-finals, been in kind of different structures of the game together, and yeah, it probably just hits a little bit differently beating Leigh for some of the girls as well. But this team, I think they're just growing in confidence. They're growing in kind of them younger players stepping up, like some of them, Kappa, just growing and growing week on week, and then led around by some of the senior players in Beth, Nicole, Ness, Moz. And yeah, it's great. It's great to see that there's that kind of.
Yeah, I mean, today, from the so-called novices, you've got Crawford, who's I think's had a good game. It's my daughter Neil, but she's stepped up. She's done plenty of work. You know, and the Capstick at the back. You know, she's growing. We earlier in the season we were looking at each other at some of the decision making from Capstick, and especially when she was out on the wing. But she seems to be growing into that fullback position, and you know, she's a real asset to the team. And one of those, you know, positional changes as well with Carrie Ann Smith. She's growing into that halfback role, and all in all, you know, we're making some serious progress.
Yeah, and I think, like, for me, definitely a special mention to Kez today. I think that she's probably looking around that team. I think she is probably your rugby brain out of everybody, and some of the work that she does and kind of, I suppose, organisation of the team goes unnoticed. Beth Pat's growing and growing and growing, just needs to get that consistency of playing week in, week out, 80 minutes. She's got a young little girl down there on the sidelines who looks like she can't wait to go and see her mum, but it's just fantastic to see that the kind of the different reasons across the 1 to 17 or the 1 to 25 or out of kind of where the growth is happening across the individuals and the team. When I stepped away from the game last year, it's all I wanted to see is the team to go forwards, not go backwards. Amanda always talked on the new era, and these players, it's their opportunity now to step up. And like I said before, they've got an opportunity to match what we did last year. And as a part of the coaching staff with the under-19s, great to see them coming through. But as a fan of the club, you just want to see them growing and growing and getting better and better. And in the future, can we go and be part of the better teams in the league? And with the future stuff that we've got going on, I absolutely believe that we can.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of weeks break now, which probably come at a good time. Obviously, we've had a victory, so you could argue it isn't. But you know, we've got a chance to rest a few bodies, and then we're coming back. I think we've got Leeds Rhinos in 3 weeks' time as part of a double header with the men playing Widnes. You know, Leeds, if anything, probably the fourth best of the big four this season. I know they've pushed Saints all the way and drawn games and what have you, but I think, you know, there's a real opportunity to you know, get into Leeds, and we gave them a bit of a fright last season, didn't we, with only, I think, about a 12-point victory for Leeds, and at times we were knocking on the door for a victory ourselves. It'd be so good if this new team was able to give one of the top four a real run for the money, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I think we've got the opportunity to do that 3 times. So we've got Leeds coming here, York to still come here, and Wigan to still come here. And I think that one of the things that we always have to go back to as a club is that no one wants to come to Craven Park, and that can only be a good thing and a positive thing for us as a team, because it's a long journey. We've got to do it every other week when we travel away games, so we get a little bit more used to it. But like Wigan and them England internationals potentially don't want to travel to Barrow on a 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock start on a Sunday morning from Leeds or York. And we've got to make this place a bit of a fortress and make people not want to come here, not just because of the drive down the A590, but because when they come here, they're met with the stubbornness of the Barrow team, priding ourselves on that kind of dominance and aggression in defence, and make teams not want to come here and not want to play against us, and then building on kind of some of the attack and the skill and start putting points on the board against some of them, and that will then make us a force to be reckoned with in this league.
Yeah, so I'm really pleased that we haven't just had 2 victories against Warrington, and you know, Warrington are struggling this season. I'm really pleased that we have been able to get a victory against another side, and even the Huddersfield game, we stood up here and thought, you know, that game was there for the taking, didn't we? We had 1 or 2 individuals who perhaps took it away from us, but certainly when we go to Huddersfield, you know, we'll be hoping for a victory, won't we? Yeah,
and I think, repeating it again now for the 3rd time, but they've got to set that as goals now. That team, that's that current Barrow Raiders team wearing that jersey this year, has got to set that as a goal, that they want to match what we did last year, and this team can go and finish 5th in this division. and that's got to be the target over the next few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll sign off now. Thank you for everyone who's listened and listened to us talk a little bit of nonsense for 80 minutes, but just a reminder of the score. Barrow Raiders 16, Leigh Leopards 10.